we're going to talk about modules, which are basically entire Python programs that you can call from another Python program and use the functions created in there. So we're going to look at one of these right now. Okay. This module we can see up here at the top defines a function called toCelsius, which looks like it takes in Fahrenheit value and converts it to Celsius. It also has another function within it called toFahrenheit, which takes in a Celsius value and converts it to Fahrenheit. You can see that it returns the Fahrenheit conversion of that. And the neat thing about this is that, let's say you create a module Python program with oodles of maybe specific for whatever your business is calculations. You could put them in this module and you could share them with other people from the same company, which is really useful from a business perspective, because it lets people maybe in different departments share kind of standard calculations that are needed for whatever your business is. So let's look at this in some more detail. We see it defines two functions up here and then has a main function defined. And then if we go down here, we have if underscore name underscore equals main. So you're going to see this in a lot of modules in Python. And what this is a conditional if. And this here will indicate if it is running itself. And you use this for your testing or of your actual program itself. So when other people call that, if this, let's say this is called and or imported into another program, this value won't hold true. So all this is saying is if we're going to be the person running it, not being called from another place, just we're actually in the module running it, it's going to go to this main section here. So let's do that. Okay, we run it and we can see it went in main and does kind of like a various check here, and they really did a good job here of documenting everything. So we can see the main function is used to test other functions, and so this would be kind of what you might be using to test as you develop your other functions. So what we have here is a Python program that we can run it and get values ourselves, but we can use it and share it with other people. So if someone else wants to call these functions, let's say the Celsius to Fahrenheit conversion or the Fahrenheit to Celsius conversion, they need only to import our module that we have here. So I'm gonna shut this down, and we're gonna get out of here, and we're gonna look at another program. Okay, now this program is going to actually use some of the functions that we created or someone else created in the temperature module. And to grab another Python program / module, you use the import command. So at the top you can see import temperature as temp. And now we could just say import temperature if we wanted to, and then whenever we try to use a function from there, we'd have to go temperature dot whatever that function is. But they decided to name it temp, kind of like an abbreviation. You could put Mickey Mouse there as long as it's a valid Python name. You could name it whatever you want, and they're keeping pretty descriptive. They're keeping good. They're just abbreviating temperature to temp to just make it easier to type in. And looking at this program, we can see that they have a few things defined. They have over here they defined a function called display menu. They have convert temp, and within this function, you can see temp dot to Celsius and a temp dot to Fahrenheit. And what they're doing is they're actually calling stuff from the other program because they imported it. And when you do this import, you have the use of all the functions written in the other program, which for this little function here is no big deal. But from a business perspective, if you had in your company, you had maybe 50 functions that define some sort of business rule that had to be applied to numbers like a sales tax, percent, or whatever. You can set all those functions up in a common module, and people can use it throughout the company. Which is pretty nice. You could keep all that calculation and code in one place. So we're going to run this, and similarly to the other program, they're doing the same thing. This is set up as a nice module of code with a function calling the actual program. So we're going to run it. We have the enter menu option. We're going to go for number 1. Degrees Fahrenheit, it's say 30. Degrees Celsius, it was calculated for us. Convert another, nope. So we just ended that, and it said bye. But you can see that it actually called from this imported module. And so you notice that a lot in Python code. At the top there might be a variety of imports, and that's the developers. It's just getting everything set for functions they may need to use within their program.